Once upon a time, there was a fantastical journey of the wandering lights.
And so it begins. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the behind-the-scenes footage of Phantastical Journey of the Wandering Lights. My name is Rich Baker. I produced this film.
And I'm Sarah Tuck. I was the assistant director, along with Nathan Piercy, who was our director.
Yeah, and then a lot of the other camp directors having just a huge part in this. Jay Johnson, Derek Gear, Rochelle Latone, and Rachel Kloss just helping us out. And so, yeah, sit back, relax as we enjoy the behind-the-scenes footage of the Phantastical Journey of the Wandering Lights. Benakina was our script writer through this whole process. Me and him got to just dialogue this whole last few months of just trying to make the script, and man, he is unbelievable, and we thank him, all the time for helping us out and partnering with us. As a youth team, as we got together and started thinking about this theme, as we looked at the Israelites leaving Egypt and getting to the Promised Land, there was something there that we put our finger on, this idea that Israel says that God is enough, that God is sufficient, yet their lives don't reflect that.
You've traded an invisible truth for a lie you can see. I hope it was worth it.
We had weather issues this year. We had a lot of snow. We didn't anticipate snow in April.
We are setting up camp right now. This is our first camp out on location in the snow at Buena Vista. It's a lovely morning. We're shooting the scenes with the billboard and with the dancing and the calf and all that stuff today. So it's crazy but fun.
Were you cold out there, Rich?
Yeah, it was a little freezing, but yeah, again, it's one of those fun things that it actually made the movie here a little bit more epic. So it's a cool thing. It's as if God knows what He's doing.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Good thing it's so warm here.
Derek, let me know when you're ready.
Right?
I liked In the World. Did I stutter? Can we
Yeah.
talk about Megan for a little bit?
Oh yeah, little Megan, our little girl in it, she's just phenomenal.
Phenomenal. She
just
blew
did a
it
great
out
job.
of the water.
I am playing girl, and it's fun. She's supposed to be kind of sassy.
Are you sassy?
That's a tough question. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Worst storyteller ever.
Candyland scene? That was really fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. As you know, in the Bible, it talks about, in Numbers, yeah, it talks about manna, and the Israelites don't want any more manna, and so they want meat, and God says, all right, I'll give you meat. I'll give you meat for for a month, where it's gonna basically come out of your nostrils. It talks about in the Bible, and instead of giving them meat, we decided,
Candy.
yeah, why not candy? So
10-year-old, right?
Which I'm pretty sure it's on that torn page.
I'm
right there.
trying to get
on
to it.
the-
It's kind
on
of
the one that's wet. Right?
it's stuck.
Between
I gotta
there.
get it. Wait for it. Oh, look, I got it. Eureka! It's not even on that page. Come on! What's going on? We had cotton candy. Wasn't really cotton candy. It was actually
Cotton.
it was painted cotton, and people were actually eating it for us. My favorite one, hands down, one of our leads here. Yeah, we got 3 big cans of chocolate,
Big.
and we dumped them all on this. One of our lead counselors, his name was JD Root, and he took it. It was a good guy there. He really, I think, did hurt a little bit
I
after
think he
that.
did.
So a lot of comical things. Hopefully you'll see some of those here, and if not, check out the blooper reel, because there's a lot of funny, weird
My
things
head
that happens
hurts
on that
just
too.
thinking about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, dun-dun.
Here, we need to get this whole thing right there.
God.
Not so much here or here, but right here.
How does it feel to
Hit a girl in the face with a leg. It wasn't awesome. All right, twice.
twice?
I'm sorry, Rachel.
You didn't even feel bad about it.
I did the first time. Second time I heard the thud and I was like, man, sorry, Rachel.
Well, hey everybody, it's been great being here on set. I'm here with a bunch of people dressed in Persian outfits. It's fantastic. That's how I make it rain.
I know.
Edward's got nothing on me.
Our Israelites traveled through sand and snow just to get to the Promised Land. And as we thought about the Promised Land, we realized we really wanted it to be green and lush and beautiful. And we found the Japanese garden in Woodrow Park in Fresno, California. As we're thinking about the Promised Land, we're trying to think about what would the Promised Land look like for a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old who's hearing the story for the first time. So we thought California, that's in and out, that's honeycomb and cereal, we've got the land of milk and honey in there. And for a girl, that's maybe shopping or iPads. We joked about shoes and things like that, but it was a pretty fun scene to think through as we started to think about the film.
That part of the story is just so fascinating to me as Israel leaves Egypt to specifically go to the Promised Land, and they go on this journey and they go in and it's perfect. It talks about it. They come back with, you know, branches from the Promised Land, and it's amazing and everything's exactly what they want, and they're so excited, yet they don't want to go in because of giants. And of course, through the eyes of a 7-year-old girl, our giants ended up being portrayed as Chuck Norris's. And every year we try to get Chuck Norris in our video. 1 year, Chuck, get in our video.
These are the 3 traitors that won't go into the Promised Land.
No Promised Land for us.
It's Chuck Norris's. Have you seen Walker, Texas Ranger?
Is the Israelites are there saying, hey, we don't want to go into the Promised Land. Moses simply, you know, looks to God, and God says, all right, then they don't go in. And Moses says, all right, I hope you like sand, because now you're going to wander for 40 years. And an interesting thing happens where the Israelites almost turn around and say, we don't want to walk. Let's actually go and fight. But at that point, it's too late. And it's an interesting take. And Joshua has an interesting line in there where he says, it's not enough to hate the heat, but it should have been enough to trust God. The consequences are big, where a lot of people think that they leave Egypt and wander for 40 years, but that's not real. They actually leave Egypt, get to the Promised Land, choose not to go into the Promised Land, and then they wander around for 40 years.
So here we are with the Israelites outside the Promised Land. They refuse to go in. They're afraid of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris?
And they decide to sing.
Chuck Norrin. They decide to sing because they do not like sand. And as a film crew, we actually ran into some issues with this because mostly you've seen our Israelites in snow. Yeah, so they've been in snow. And there's definitely been challenges this year along with the film. We had issues with finding locations, with permits falling through. But we actually did find a pretty awesome sand location thanks to Dave Bohr. He called us up and found us these beautiful sand dunes, and oh my goodness, they were beautiful.
Yeah, there was one point, it was such an epic scene. There was one point I looked at Nathan, our director, and me and him just both looked at each other. We were screaming because it was such a cool location, and we embraced. It was just, cool. It was a fun thing that God did show up, as he always does.
Yeah, this is so fun!
What are you doing, Rich?
It's
shadow fighting. Duh. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. They had a lot of fun in the sand. They're making sand angels. And what else did you guys do in the sand?
Well, we decided at the end of our shoot, well, since we're all in costume, we came across this vast sand dunes. And so we saw this one that was epic, huge sand dune. And so we all ran to the top of it. And then on 3, we ran and then jumped off of it. And I ate a lot of sand.
Hey, well, welcome back, everybody. I'm here on scene with Hume, behind the scenes footage of the Wandering Lights. It's a pretty incredible day today out here in Egypt. We all flew out here just for a couple of days just to film the shoot. Scott, what do you think about this so far?
Oh, it's epic. It's epic scale. I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, they just dropped us off in the desert. I mean, I'm parched, and I don't know why I'm talking to your fist, but, you know, it works.
Well, it's an imaginary microphone.
Okay.
But it was pretty crazy taking that plane into this private location, and all expenses paid, and first-class dining and
first-class tent accommodations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the camels we could ride.
Yeah, dude, that one guy spit on me, but it's all right.
Yeah, the glasses.
I'll get him later.
Yeah. You'll get them later.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Evan? Being out here in Egypt.
Looking a little pink there.
A little bit. I'm too white for this environment, but you do what you got to do for the film.
Yeah, did you check out the pyramids on your day off?
I didn't. I heard they were a little underwhelming, so I tried to stay away from it. I mostly just slept. Yeah, I'm all about the sleeping.
Yeah, well, the other day when I was hanging out with King Tut, he said he really wanted to come visit Hume Lake, so maybe we'll see him this summer. Hey, it's me down under, and here up in Egypt, following this wild cat. Look at the tracks. You could see, look at the markings on this one. You see the markings. This means it's a male, and you can tell by this, it must be like 300-400 pounds. Let's go on this excursion to capture this huge beast. Stop! I can smell it in the wind. It's up in this brush over there. Let's go find it. What do you think, Jimmy? Let's go grab this big beast.
Our Israelites traveled through that sand a lot, and they make it to their last campsite outside the Promised Land. And they've been wandering for a long time now, and they're finally at those Promised Land doors, which, if you recognize them, they're from Mini Return of Audible Grasshopper Fighting, summer 2006.
That's right. That was a fun idea and a fun concept as we're standing there thinking about what's the symbolism of letting Israel into the Promised Land. It's not about Israel being faithful, it's just the symbolism of God being faithful. Regardless of who we are, God is constantly going to be sufficient. And we love that. I love that with those doors opening up and Nathan and Sarah running around crazy as that sun started to set. And we had to get the epic shot of the sun opening up on the actors' faces and then also getting the sun opening up with the doors. That was the craziest day of filming I think we've had.
We were losing light fast.
Yeah, but you guys did an awesome job of piecing it all together. Even that sun flare that you see as the door opens up, that was all made by.
And I think the cool thing about that day is it's Moses who's not getting to go into the Promised Land, who's basically looking over Israel like his children and telling them to remember that God is faithful. And that's like our last line of the film for the little girl to grandpa telling her, remember little one, I want you to remember. And that's our hope, is that as our campers, as you guys walk away, any guests that come on the hill, that you would remember that God is faithful and that God is sufficient.
You are enough.